Hey guys, welcome into the TPA film room, episode 2, or is it 3? I don't really know, man, but doesn't matter anyway. We are looking at Rashod Bateman versus Iowa 2020 this year. This is me, Julien, here with the point after FF, and we got Tyler _FF_. Finally got that right. Tyler, how you doing today, man?
Man, doing good. I'm ready to get into some Rashod Bateman film. I'm really excited about this prospect. He's definitely one of the top tiers in this class, so it's really exciting.
Yes, definitely one of my favorite players, and is garnering some hype, in recent days. And people are catching on to how good this kid is. But I'm excited to break down one of his best games of 2020. So let's get into it.
Let's do it. Not much going on there.
Here we go. Just a little screen outlet pass. Strong, powerful stance, which I like off the hop here. That's a fine route. There's nothing stands out really.
No, it doesn't. He does kind of break down that defender there, kind of get a little flat-footed, and then of course makes the defenders miss. He didn't get really any yards after the catch on that one, but he did make some guys miss. If they hadn't swarmed the ball as quickly as he did, he definitely could have broke that off a little bit more.
I wish this was a catch here.
Defender
knocked
really
that down.
Catch. It would have been a really hard catch, but I think. You could.
That's
you
really
could picture
on him.
Jamar Chase making that. Yeah. Here's something like one thing a con for me on him is his blocking seems to be a little lackluster.
He just doesn't. He doesn't seem like he cares all the time.
Right, and I really wonder if that is like. Oh, I wish he caught that too.
Yeah, let's go back and look at this one, right? Because I just got exposed saying this is one of my favorite players in this draft, and then he comes out and in his first game he does this. So
unfortunately, he drops this on the sideline. It would have been a really nice catch for him to make. I understand it's a hard catch for him to make, right? But this is a top tier wide receiver class, and you gotta kind of expect more, right?
I mean, the best players, you have to make that catch, and he does most times. This is not a regular occurrence for him, and he has it's a fantastic route here. He gets open to the sideline. He comes back towards the football. He's just got to finish that play. But the biggest thing I see with that is he tried to make that catch with his body.
Right. You try to cradle it,
as opposed
to attack it.
Exactly, right? Especially on the sidelines, you need to catch that with your hands, man. So that's definitely you'd mentioned it earlier as one of his cons, but I'm glad you brought it up. We saw it early, and now we can move on from it. Gets the ball here, shows his ability in space. Like, I really love his yak ability.
Right.
A great route here. That's an option route, I'm thinking, and obviously the defender that is covering him here, I believe this is a linebacker.
Right.
Yeah,
I think it's a linebacker as well.
And he shows his cards here, right? Like once you stop these two, he could go. I'm assuming this is an option route, and he could break outside here, but he knows that this guy's got his hips turned inside, and he can beat him with speed, which is exactly what he does. And he finds this open pocket in the middle of the field.
Yeah, gets him flat-footed basically, and at that point, you versus a linebacker, and you just know you're faster. So you get the first step. You take the first step regardless of which way you go, but he takes the opposite way the defender is facing, gets that extra step, extra separation. I'd love to see that.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
So I really love his breaks. Like, even when he doesn't get the ball here, like, he still has very clean breaks to either the inside or the outside. Like, he created a good bit of separation on that. And you see this consistently. I just wanted to point out that, like, this is something that you'll consistently see with Rashod Bateman. Here, when he breaks to his left, he does create a good amount of separation. He just turns his hips quicker than the other person. It's almost as simple as that. He's got really fluid hips. Inside and outside breaks. Yeah.
Like, he's the target here, right? There's nobody to break this ball up in front of him. The quarterback puts this right over here. Rashod Bateman runs into it. That's first down. but
100%.
he tries to force this outside. I don't really know why, but he does a fantastic job breaking this route off and finding this open spot in space. I mean, it's too bad that he didn't get the ball there.
Yeah, and then going back to the con that I mentioned too before about his lack of blocking, I really wonder, they run a lot of RPO in this offense. I really wonder if he doesn't know it's RPO and he's like somewhat running a route, and then next thing you know, like,
or he sees like, am I blocking?
Right.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Like he's that kind of like you said comes back to his blocking prowess. Is he's if he's blocking downfield and it's a pass play, that's not good. Again, this is a play that sorry, I just wanted to talk about it because you got to make that catch, man. I know that's like an overthrown pass, but yeah. And I think that that's his biggest con is his hands, and they're just not to the likes of some of the other prospects in this draft. But he does a phenomenal job with his route running ability. He's he's a great all around receiver. It's just he's got these hands issues.
Yeah, he does have the hands issues, and they're not easy catches that he drops. These are kind of harder catches, somewhat contested or somewhat misplaced throws. But when you're looking at the top of the class, you want them making those catches. You expect them to make those catches.
Yeah, I mean, you're drafting this guy to be, ideally your wide receiver 1, if not your 2 on your team. If you're going to take him in the first round, if somebody's going to spend a first round pick on Rashod Bateman, then you would expect them to be able to come up with these clutch plays.
Right, and that's something, if he had improved upon his senior year, I think we'd be a lot more talking about him a lot more in the likes of Jamar Chase and that top tier. Yeah, for me, he is in that top tier, but he's still kind of a clearly behind Jamar Chase for me.
Yeah, when I first scouted these guys, I kind of had all 3 of them in that same tier together, and just the more and more that I watch, I'm just shying a little bit off, right? That gap is getting a little bit bigger between these guys, and it's not really a knock on Rashod Bateman either. It's it's just Jamar Chase has been
so good.
Exactly, like it, and it's really hard to distinguish like which one of these, which one out of these top 5 receivers is actually going to be effective at the next level. And that's what we're all, trying to figure out. That's why we're all here watching this. And, really it's tough to say. It's going to be what, two out of the top 5 are probably going to be elite at the next level. And honestly, we don't know who it's going to be. And then outside of that, maybe we get, 4 or 5 outliers who are wide receiver 2, 3s, or have a wide receiver 1 or 2 season. And that's what makes like first round picks so enticing for some people and so scary for others. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, definitely. So this one's just zone coverage. He doesn't really, make much separation, but I do like his yards after the catch here. He almost, if he broke this or just took like a slight step away from the defender, that's a touchdown. That second defender that comes in there. Here he makes that guy miss.
Didn't really get to see it then.
Almost there.
But really high IQ does it.
Plays here.
Exactly,
like
right? And
there's been a lot of those.
Yeah. Well, and what ifs, right? Like, what if he gets the ball there? Like, that's the same play that we were talking about earlier, where you got to get him the ball in the middle of the field there.
Right.
That's the same play, and they did. So, how many times could that have happened? Would it happen again if it had worked the first time? We don't know. Again, zone read option.
Yeah, like I said, you see a lot of that in this offense, and that's why
and this
I really
is a
wonder if that
perfect example.
Right.
Like what you were talking about, right? He runs a route here, but kind of blocks, and
right. He doesn't really know what happens until it's almost too late for him to make an impact on the play, and I think that's just kind of part of the RPO system, where you don't know until it's potentially too late.
No, that's a great point, man. There we go. See, that's a clutch catch, and then
really again
nice. Shows off his yak.
Right. He
Right.
turns back and he fights towards the ball here. He kind of makes
I
a body
love
catch
that
on
you said
that,
that.
but he comes back to the ball. He works his way back to the ball, gets in good position when the DB is right on his back. And then yeah, he fights for the extra yards, extends his body, almost gets the first down there, just not quite. But yeah, I mean, look, defenders on him. He's
Like watch
pretty
it here, right?
covered. Like yeah, at this point, like
100%.
on the sideline like that, you're pretty covered at that point. If he's just now releasing ball, that DB to make his way back. But since he fights towards the ball, he fights for the ball more than this DB does. He's able to make the catch, and then he breaks the tackle and almost gets the first down from it. This is the play I think I would love to see consistently from him.
Yeah. Well, I think this is how he has to be used, is as kind of a a reliable possession wide receiver, not necessarily a really big play guy, but somebody that you can rely on for 7 targets a game. Probably like an Allen Robinson type. Like that's where I think that his ceiling could be at.
Right.
And it's tough to say because I love Allen Robinson, and putting him in a system, in a say he went to like a Pat Mahomes system, he's going to shoot up my rankings, and so it'll be interesting to see where Rashod Bateman goes, because I think he does have that upside where he can be that type of a player. And so I'm not necessarily saying him to get drafted to Kansas City. I was just using that as an example because because of the high powered offense.
Yeah, 100% agree. And like, he's, for as good of a route runner he is, very Allen Robinson-esque. He is still pretty big too. He clocked in at 6'2", 210. Like that's pretty good size. Wide receiver one you want there, and he has really good route running. He's not just this big physical type. But yeah, I mean, he checks all the boxes. Physically, analytically, all that stuff. Just a couple things on the film I wish he would clean up.
Yeah. Well, and what's encouraging is they're coachable things.
Right.
Like you can work on your hands. You can stand in front of a ball shooting machine. I don't know what those things are called. And you can catch 150 passes in an hour. You could do it in 30 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt. Go back.
No.
This is a RPO. He runs past that guy. I think he notices that safety crashing in, and that's when he's like, "Oh wait, this is a run play."
This is a run.
He's not able. Yeah, he's not able to get into position. I think he should be blocking that linebacker right there.
Right here. Yeah.
But then he sees that safety crashing. He's like, "Oh wait, this is obviously a run play." I had no idea. Now it's too late, and he's not really able to get into position here.
Yeah, because if he does make this block, I mean, there's a big hole up here and there's a big hole here, right? But this running back probably comes out here. But yeah, you're totally right, because now he sees this going on back here. He sets up to block.
He sees that safety now stopping and coming back, and he's like, okay.
He's like, okay, I'll block someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he's not really.
I just wish he was like a little more physical, yeah. But again, like you said, it's tough when you're in that position.
100%. Yeah. So, I mean, it's something that I think the system works against him on that, and something that I did knock on him, but it's like a half knock on him.
Yeah, I agree. There we go. I want to highlight too how important a stance is at the wide receiver position when you're starting out a route. Just look at how straight his whole body is. Right when you come up here, I'm not even sure who this is, but you can see like he's not ready to pounce. And Rashod Bateman has a fantastic start. I love the way that he gets off of the line of scrimmage, and it starts with this stance, his inside foot forward. He's got his power foot on the outside. Obviously, this is an RPO, but. And he's not running a full powered route, but when he does, like that's why he's able to be so effective. When we saw him earlier fake out that linebacker, it's because that start you don't know what's going to happen. Yeah,
and it speaks to his good start too, is that he rarely gets press coverage. That's something that if someone has a really good release, you don't see him getting pressed very often. Right. Look at Devontae Smith. He never gets pressed. Rashod Bateman just about never gets pressed. Other guys though you see get pressed that like don't have a great release is like Tylan Wallace. Breaking down his film, he does get press coverage a good amount, and it works. So like if it
Yeah.
works, they're
Yeah.
going to use it against you.
And if the thing is, if it works in college, you best believe it's going to work in the NFL, because they're bigger, they're stronger, they're faster, right? And so it'll be interesting to see, like, if he sees press coverage in the NFL and what he's able to do with that, because we haven't seen a whole lot of it. Obviously, like this was a pretty rough game for Minnesota.
Yeah,
this is kind of a cherry on top for them. At least they were able to get into the end zone.
Right.
It's
this was a really good route too. I do want to point out this was a really good route by Rashod Bateman. This one with the scoring
right
play.
Here.
He has a really good out route.
Oh,
this one right here. And he also reaches down and gets the ball on this one. He actually
makes a tough catch.
Makes a tough catch. Something that again I would just love to see more often from him. But yeah, great release on the top of his route. Turns his hips on the outside.
Comes back to the football.
And has good outside leverage now. It makes a tough catch and is able to just reach it in.
And I think this speaks to Rashod Bateman, to the player that he is, and the fact that they're down 35-0 and there's 14 seconds in the game, and they're saying, we don't want to go scoreless. Who are we getting the ball to? They're throwing it to Rashod Bateman. So
100%. Yeah. Unfortunately, Minnesota did not have a great year on there.
No.
But yeah, this was a really good play by him. Really good outside release. Showed really good hands. Again, something I just want to see more often from him. But I mean, he shows he can make the catches, and that's something that I think is important. And something I look for when I'm breaking down wide receivers. Can they make that over shoulder catch? Can they make the sideline catches? Show me the ability that you can, and we can work on these focus drops and stuff like that later, right?
For sure, exactly. Like they're teachable things. So quickly highlight where we're getting all of our film from. The FF Astronauts have a fantastic film room. Is what I've been using. www.ffastronauts.com, and they've got all different kinds of actual NFL film, as well as all rookie incoming players. Multiple games per player. Some players have 10 plus. So definitely come check it out. That's what we're using right now, and it is awesome. So I got nothing but great things to say about it.
Yeah.
And then
highlight everything that you said there, that they are a awesome resource, and I highly recommend you guys checking them out. It's super great for anyone that just wants to sit down and watch a quick film. They cut it all up for you guys, so it's no more than 10 minutes just watching through it.